Wait, did you hear that? What is going on here? What are doing you here in my camera? You don't have to hide. Just sit down here. I show you everything. No problem at all. Hi everybody and welcome to my studio. My name is Markus Hofstetter. I'm a portrait, wedding and wet plate photographer. Beside that I do experimental photography. Maybe I've seen the fire shooting I did. And today I want to talk a little bit more about my wet plate photography and what it takes to travel with my cameras and do wet plates outside of my studio. So first of all I want to show you my cameras. This is the smaller one, the bigger one. These both cameras are called Reisekamera. It means like they are traveling cameras. That's maybe kind of funny because they are big for traveling, but you can fold them together and put them in a suitcase so you can travel with the cameras. And these cameras operate like normal cameras do. The only difference is the shutter is me. So I open the lens and close the lens to get light onto the plates. And because I'm talking already about the plates, plates need a lot of light. So if you want to talk about ISO sensitivity, it's about 0.5 or something. So that's the reason I use these strobes. Generator puts out like 6000 watts power into the strobe head. So I'm able to shoot wet plates even in my studio. But I still love to mixture the strobe light with daylight. So anyway, I want to talk about traveling with my wet plate stuff. Last weekend I had a workshop in Czech Republic, and to be able to travel there I had to pack everything I have in my dark room and I have in my studio in my car and travel with that to Czech Republic. I was like preparing this stuff I think 2 days before we started traveling. On the traveling day we got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. After breakfast we put everything in the car, checked the list if everything is really in the car, because it would be really not funny if I arrive in Czech Republic and there's something missing. So if you want to see what I put in my car, you're gonna watch this video here. It's gonna run while I talk. At the beginning of the video you see just a picture of all the stuff that's underneath the trunk of my car and then the stuff that's in my car. So we put everything in the car after the breakfast. Then we drove to Czech Republic. I think we arrived there like 3 or 4 hours later. And of course we had to put everything out of the car into the museum, into the darkroom there. So I had to prepare my darkroom there. I had to prepare my strobes upstairs, and I had to see if the cameras are working like I like to work with the cameras, because I was shooting there with the cameras of the museum, so everything was a little bit different. I have to get comfortable with the plate holders. I have to get comfortable how I put the plate holders in the cameras. It's just a little bit different, but you have to have a feeling how you put everything into the plate holders, and how to put the plate holders into the camera so you don't struggle when you do the pictures. And yeah, I think it was like 5 p.m. before I was able to shoot the first plate. So it was getting already dark outside, and if it's dark outside it's not that funny to shoot wet plate, because as I told you before, you need a lot of light. And I think we were finished with the 3 plates at 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. So that was really a long day, and I had to finish everything on that day, because on the next day I had a workshop. And yeah, so in the next video that is coming up I want to show you and I will talk about how I did the plate, and I want to explain you a little bit more what I do, what's the handling with pouring the plates and everything. So check out the video that's coming up now, and thanks for watching until now, and enjoy my video.
Yeah, it always starts with safety measures. I wear a mask because of the heater in the collodion, and sometimes you see me without a mask during the workshops. That's only because so all the people can understand what I'm saying. But mostly after the second plate I wear the mask again. The goggles are because of the silver nitrate, because everywhere you get silver nitrate you get black spots, and just imagine you get black spots in your eyes, so you wouldn't be able to see anymore. So yeah, the gloves are the same. I don't want to have too many black spots on my hands. I get them anyway, but it's just a little bit prevention to don't get too many. So now I try to get the foil off the plate. I always try to do that very slowly and to do it not too brutal, because I would just bend the whole plate and we don't like that. Like this ultra large plates, it's not so easy to get the foil off. For the smaller ones it's pretty easy, but the bigger ones, they need some force. But I have to try not to use too much force. See, the last little bit is pretty easy. And now I'm starting to pour the collodion onto the plate. And if you would be able to stand there, you would smell this. You would smell a lot of ether in the air. So I start in the middle, and then I go to the first corner, to the second corner, to the third corner, to the fourth corner, and then back to the first corner again. And I pour everything into my pouring bottle, and I start to rock the plate, because the collodion starts to dry slowly, and if I wouldn't rock the plate it would dry with straight lines on the plate, and we don't like that. Yeah, I always try to close the bottles as fast as possible because of the ether. Yeah, and you see the collodion drops on the paper towel. The more I do it, the less collodion is on the paper towel, and at the end, you will see, just a moment, I will try with my thumb if the collodion already dried on the plate, and if it did, I put it into the silver nitrate. I use trays to sanitize my plates, because the ether and the alcohol can easier evaporate from the silver nitrate, and I'm also able to pour it back into my glass bottle much easier than when I would use a big tank for sanitizing my plates. So now I have like 3 to 4 minutes time. In that time the cadmium bromide and the ammonium iodide turn into silver bromide and silver iodide, and these are light sensitive salts that are even used in modern film, like we use in the black and white film these days. And during the 3 minutes I'll go upstairs again to check the focus on the camera, to talk to the people, and to see if everything is alright. Normally in that time the people can walk around, but these guys decided to just sit there, and I will try to explain them what's happening right now. I put my 360 camera underneath the cloth of the camera, so you have an idea how it is if I check the ground glass, if the focus is okay. So right now, yeah, you just have a look around. You see the ground glass on one side, you see me on the other side with the magnifier. Yeah, it's just a little setup for you guys, so you can get an idea how it is to check the focus under a pretty big camera. I know there are bigger ones, but these are 30 by 40 centimeters plates, so that's like 12 by 16 inch. That's pretty big for a plate. Just compare it with your digital cameras. So if you have a full frame camera that's like as big as 2 thumbs, and this is as big as my head, so you have a very shallow depth of field with these big plates, and that's the reason you have to check the focus twice. Mostly I've give the people a headrest too, so they don't move that much, but with 3 people and this distance, that's not that much of a problem. So I open the ground glass so I can fit the plate holder in there for later. I'm just checking if the lens cap is on. I'll give them a test shot with the strobe. It's a lot of light, so the strobe and the generator from Hansel has 6000 watts. So this is a big pop, and so the people are not that surprised how bright it is. I do mostly a test shot before I start with the real exposure. I think that's the moment where I talk with them about the glasses, because Martin wears, I think they are fake glasses, but still, some of the glasses have a UV filter built in, and because we are exposing to blue light, a UV filter would just block all the light, and the glasses would look like sunglasses, and you wouldn't be able to see his eyes. Yeah, he's putting them off already. I had this experience before with a model. We did a cool wet plate shoot, and I really liked the glasses, and the plate showed us just black glasses. It just looked like she had sunglasses on her. So I think the hourglass told me already 3 minutes are over. And now I'm going back down to the darkroom again. It's really a beautiful old house there, with the old studio upstairs and the old dark rooms. So back in the darkroom, I put, you can't see that because there's too little light. I put the plate out of the silver nitrate, and I clean all the edges and the back of the plate, because the plate is completely wet, right? So all the different dust particles would get sucked onto the plate, and the more I clean it all around, and the more I clean the plate holder and the plate on the back, the cleaner the image gets. The capillarity action just suck all the dust particles onto my plate, and I don't like that. So the plate holder is now light sealed, and there we go up again into the studio to exposure the plate to the light. Yeah, there are a lot of stairs, and during my workshop we were walking them up and down like, I don't know, 40 times a day. It's good that the Czech cuisine is very, how I could say it, is very sumptuous. So, back again in the studio, putting the plate into the camera. I had to fast forward because I had my troubles to get it in. Even I tried it like 10 times before, but yeah. Opening the plate holder into the camera, and now putting the cap off, the lens cap off, and waiting to get a little bit more light, and doing the exposure. Now you can see also the single portrait with Martin, and after that I did a single portrait also. Sorry, you have to look around. I put the camera the wrong way there, with her. So you have to put around again your view. Getting the plate holder out of the camera again, and now going down to develop the plate. Martin is following me because he wants to see the result immediately. It was already very late, and it's always very tough to shoot wet plates if it's already dark outside. Normally I combine my strobes with daylight, so I get a little bit softer skin tones. But this time I had only my strobes, and it was already really late too after coming there. So now I get the plate out of the plate holder. I tried to open it here, but because my 360 camera was standing here, I had not much space, enough space. That was the reason I got it out of the plate holder somewhere else. Now I put into my special self-made tray the developer, and pour the developer with one big wave over the, here you can see it now, over the plate. And now the ferrosulfate from the developer sticks to every crystal on the plate that was hit with light before. And as you can see, the highlights are coming first, and after that the midtones, and after the midtones I just kill the developer with water a little bit later when the dark tones come visible. I kill the developer with water. You see it looks a little bit oily, and as long as it looks oily, there's still developer on the plate. And here's a second plate. I want to show you the smaller plates too, because I don't put the developer there in with a plate. I do it everything by hand. I just do the big plates with a helping tray, because it's a little bit tough to get all the developer on the complete plate with one movement, and sometimes on the big plates some spots were developed more than the others. That's the reason I built this tray for the bigger ones. Now you can see I wash the rest of the developer off the plate, and if you just wait, I turn the camera now for you. The fixing process begins. During the fixing process, the sodium disulfate just washes off the rest on the unexposed silver, and that's where the magic happens, and the image appears on the plate. See slowly the image coming, and after the fixing, you don't see it in the video, I have to wash off the fixer from the plate. I do that under running water, about 10 minutes. If I don't have running water, I do like 30 minutes washing with water in a tray. And after that, you have to turn around again. I'm starting to varnish the plate, so the silver does not oxidize. The varnishing is pretty easy. I just have to clean the plate from the dust before, and then I put on a sundrag varnish. The sundrag varnish is made of sundrag gum, lavender oil that keeps the gum elastic, and alcohol. And so you can see I do the same thing like I did before with the collodion. Just this time it's a little bit easier. I don't have to rock the plate. I put them on the toaster to bake them, to make the sundrag varnish set. And if you do it fast enough, and if you did cook out the water of the alcohol of the sundrag varnish before, it gets very, very shiny. It looks really like glass. I really liked it. And right now the smell is really good. You can smell the lavender now in the whole dark room. That's one of my favorite things to do, to varnish the plates. Yeah. There's also a technique that I do to get not too much varnish on one spot at the end, but you have to see that in person on one of my workshops. It's hard to explain. So now I'm baking the plate, as I said before, to make the varnish set. not sure if you can see it, but it's really, you really see how it starts to set and how it starts to shine. If you get it done really good, it really looks like, you can see it now, it really looks like glass. I really like that. Yeah. I tried to show you guys it with the reflection of the light, how shiny it is right now. Yeah, and that's pretty it, how I do a wet plate. And you can see we have now, I don't know, past like 16 minutes for picture. Yeah. Now the same thing with the smaller plates, I baked them too. It's, yeah. The smaller they get, the easier it is. So, now we can look around and have a look at the finished plates. And all 3 of them. Yeah. I was really happy with the result. Yeah, and that's the moment where I do some advertisements for my workshop. If you wanna try everything you have seen right now by yourself, just contact me. I do workshops in Czech Republic, but also in Austria. I do them mostly in German, but if you wanna have one in English, no problem, I can do that too. We will do in a workshop everything together. I show you how to pull the plates, how to use the cameras, how to have fun taking pictures with the wet plate collodion process. Yeah, as you can see, the location there is very unique. But taking pictures with large format cameras and the wet plate collodion process is fun anywhere. So just let me know if you want to know more about the wet plate collodion process and get in touch.
Thanks for watching my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, click that button. If you want to see more about my work and you don't want to see more videos, click the subscribe button. If you have any questions, ask me in the questions section now, in the comment section below, and let me know what you liked, what you did not like. So that's it. Thanks again for watching, and now you guys are going back where you came from. So let's get cozy again in my camera. So I'll let you sit in here. I'll be back, and viert euch. Close the shutter too, they don't need light in there.